FC26 Ultimate Team is almost here, and before you dive in, here are 7 things you need to know that will change the way you play FC26. From evolutions to SBCs, FC points and more, this video will make sure you don't fall behind from day one, and more importantly, because we don't know exactly how we're going to be starting in FC26 since EA are looking to change things up this year, this will be more of a look backwards on the mistakes that we did make and what we learned from FC25 to make sure we don't make those same mistakes again in FC26. And with that in mind, let's start with evolutions. And so how, guys, is it possible that we can learn from the mistakes of FC25 to carry over into FC26, when first of all, we're getting something new with evolutions by the way of goalkeepers. We're going to finally be able to evo them. We're going to be getting repeatable evolutions, which we don't have in the current game. We're going to be able to start evoing 2 players immediately if you've got the pre-order edition, and we're going to be getting smaller boosts for evo players. What if your trading cards could earn you money without having to sell them? On SoRare, when you open your card, not only do you have a 10% chance of getting an exclusive card design, you can then take that player and use them in a fantasy football lineup to win huge cash prizes. Every card in SoRare is numbered with 4 different scarcities, from limited to 1000 to unique 1 of 1s, and once you own them, you can line them up in a 5-a-side fantasy team to earn points based on their real-world performance. What's more is if you collect 4 or more animated special edition cards, you can enter them into the exclusive Super Shiny competition starting this Friday with a top prize of $4,000. If you use my link to sign up, you can get up to $150 of market credits for your first purchase. So get opening, get collecting, and get playing with SoRare's brand new cards for the brand new season. So how can we learn from the mistakes we made in FC25? Well, what you're looking at here is a series that myself and Josh ran called The Crappers. And what we have here is a bunch of the lowest rated players in the game that have been evoed up throughout the game cycle. And the idea was to take them into, as far into champs and as far up the rivals ranks as we could and get the best out of them. Although this account got kind of abandoned, as you could tell by the all the card designs here, kind of just post team of the season. This account got a bit abandoned. We learned so much of what not to do in FC26 with an account like this. And it starts actually all the way back at one of the Team of the Year Evos, which I think I might have upgraded him once more now. But we've got this man right here, Park Hyung-woo, as a 94 rated. By the time we got him in another Evo, he comes away with First Touch Plus, Rapid Plus, and Technical Plus, but has absolutely horrific stats for a 94 rated. Terrible passing, terrible defending, okay in some other key areas, and not bad in playstyles either, although of course the power shot meta had far fallen off by this time, so we would have preferred low driven and or finesse shot. Tiki-taka was also so much more important, but for a very long time, Park Hyung-woo looked like this. A 77 rated during the Team of the Year Blueprint evolution that still had those same 3 playstyle pluses that he had all the way after Team of the Season. But as you can see here, for a 77 rated, he had okay pace, good dribbling and good physical, but terrible shooting and passing. And because he had 3 playstyle pluses, he got locked out of evolutions until after Team of the Season, which means this card, what we spent 250,000 coins on, was locked like this for an incredibly long time. And so the lesson that we learned from that was trying to then start building up players where it made sense for the playstyles that we wanted first, and then the in-game stats afterwards. And off the back of that, we started getting cards like this, which is a 79 in progress because I didn't finish him. However, he might say he's a centre-back as well. He has got striker as a secondary position. He's 5-star, 5-star. As you can see from his playstyle pluses, he's got low driven and finesse shot plus and quick step plus, which were 3 absolutely premium playstyle pluses for strikers back in that stage of the game. And then when you look at his stats, this is an Evo. Near max pace, near max shooting, and very good dribbling, and he was only 79 rated. It would have been incredibly easy to get his passing and physical up, his dribbling up that little bit further, and complete one of the best cards that you ever would have seen in the game. And it all came from just picking and choosing the evolutions and how we use them. I know everyone is going to want to absolutely rush to the meta OP premium players to put evos on straight away. We saw it with Teo Hernandez last year. We saw it with one of the midfielders. I can't remember who the midfielder was, but one of the midfielders last year. Everybody rushed to evo the exact same player. Rafael Leao was getting evoed every single time that it was possible last year. But the reason why that's bad, and what we can learn from that, is those players will just get promo card after promo card after promo card. And absolutely there's some merit in taking, in those moments, Teo Hernandez, the best left back in the game, and making him that little bit better. But in terms of if you're actually looking to have a good Evo team, like what we have inevitably and eventually had here, where we had players who were genuinely phenomenal. Like we've got Zothan Puig here again, another player who, again, for this moment of the game was very good. If you want to build quality players, take care of your Evos. Give players boosts that make sense to the position that they play for you and the way that you play the game. Give players play styles that make sense to the meta of the game. And of course, that meta might change. And so that's where you'll end up getting lost a little bit. I had a Gabriel Jesus last year that I put Power Shot Plus onto. EA then nerfed Power Shot Plus, and I was sitting there cursing because I didn't want Gabriel Jesus to have Power Shot Plus anymore. But don't just rush in and Evo the first player that's in your club because an Evo's there. Pick your players and pick your Evos wisely. Of course, I will have far more content when the game comes out on exactly how best to get kind of like the maximum benefits out of evolutions when they come. But just be warned, when the new game comes, do not rush your Evos in those early weeks and months. The next thing, guys, that we need to talk about for FC26 is how volatile the market is in the early stages, why it's volatile, and how you can take advantage of it. I've got some players here, Griezmann, Hernandez, Ronaldo, and Rafael, to show you guys how the kind of market trends of the players works, but more importantly, a little bit about why. So Griezmann was one of the best players in the game in the very early stages because Finesse Shot Plus was so broken, so overpowered, and he was an absolute beast at it. And you'll see here when the game first came out in early access, he was about 120,000 coins. Now, players get quite expensive in those early stages for the premium cards because everybody is rushing to get them to build the best teams that they can if they've already spent FC points or if they've just got on the game a bit early, managed to build up a bit of a bank of coins. But you'll notice here that as the week went on, his price went down. And that is because actually there's not a lot of access to coins once you've spent those FC points. So there's not as much kind of supply of coins as the demand for Griezmann goes down, and therefore his price also goes down. When the new game officially came out, his price went up again, thanks to the fact that an absolute mass of people have come back on. People are, obtaining coins, whether that be through their FC points, through their match coins, through some squad battles rewards, whatever the case may be, from some SBCs early days. And so everyone goes back in to buy Griezmann. And then as people open their packs again and burn their FC points, his price went down again. And you can see this trend of really high, really low, really high, really low in almost every popular player in the game in the first 2 weeks. As I said, the market is extremely volatile and it almost always follows the exact same pattern every single year for the premium players. So if you can isolate who the good players are in the early stages, wait until you've got the full release on that day. That's going to be a great day to go and buy a whole bunch of the premium players. Teo Hernandez, another premium player, his price, he did have a few dips again on around the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of October, but he just kept flying up. Why? He was hyper meta. He was the best left back in the game, bar none. He was so overpowered that people just wanted him. And then eventually the scales tipped. Maybe there was a new evolution. Maybe there was a new SBC. Maybe there was a new version of Teo Hernandez. It caused the market to shift dramatically. But again, in these early stages, you can see how volatile the market is. He went up at 434 and then down at 371 on release, right? This is on release. This is as everyone's spamming their FC points. His price goes down. I wouldn't say it crashed, but it certainly went down before flying up almost 500,000 coins. That would have been, over 100,000 coins profit on Teo Hernandez. And so these premium players, guys, and I have got Rafael Leao here as well, these premium players are very volatile. Rafael Leao was a bit different because he was also really important for certain evolutions. As I spoke on earlier, it was really interesting to see how many he fit into and how many people used him. I think we had like 80, max 83 Evos like in the early stages. So I don't think he was like super pertinent for many of them. I think it's more around this November, December era where this might be more Evo spikes. But similarly, Rafael Leao goes up high, comes down, flies up high, comes down, flies back up, then absolutely plummets. And again, is that because he got a promo card? Is it because a new SBC left wing came out, a new huge left wing evolution came out? I can't tell you exactly from this price graph, but these premium players, they are so volatile in the early stages. And you can take advantage of that. Probably not at these prices. You're probably sitting there thinking, well, I'm not going to have 100,000 coins net. I'm not going to have 400,000 coins net in the first few days or weeks of the game. So what can I do? Well, I want to use Ronaldo as an example of how you can utilize the price volatility to your advantage. This card, again, I know he's an 86 overall, so he wouldn't have been eligible for certain Evos until a little bit further down the line. This card is a prime example of buying players when they are worthless and selling them when it makes sense. Because these spikes, okay, he initially came out in the game, he dropped to 8,000 coins by October 5th. These spikes are due to evolutions. You know, every time he goes down is because he doesn't fit into an evolution. Every time he flicks back up is because he does fit into an evolution. And although the max evolutions in the early stages will probably be like 83, maybe 84, maybe this year because they're trying to nerf the power curve, maybe 82, 83, there will be some really strong 82 and 83 rated players that will be very, very good for Evo trading and the volatility. Yilmaz, as a perfect example. We haven't got his in-game stats, have we? Not yet. But Yilmaz here has got some of the best playstyles in the game, in spite of the fact I haven't got those here yet either. He's got some incredible playstyles. He's got low driven. He's got, hold on, I just saw it on my timeline actually. He's got quick step, rapid, low driven, bruiser, enforcer, aerial fortress, and relentless. And then he's also got 93 pace and 90 physical. This is the sort of card, he might be like a bit spenny anyway because there's some fun properties, but this is the sort of card that as soon as an Evo comes out for a left mid, he's going to fit in it because he's only 80 rated. He's going to go extinct at 10 or 15 or 20,000 coins immediately. So if his price is in the 3s, 4s, 5,000 coins, which for an 80 rated would be insane anyway, it's worth buying this sort of card because he's going to be so volatile, he's going to go up in price. Now, the other thing of the market where it gets super volatile in the early stages is consumables and managers. Now, consumables, it really is just based on what SBC or what evolution comes out. Because if you get an SBC of a centre-back, shadows and anchors are just going to go through the roof. If you get an evolution for a striker, where you can like improve your striker, you know, you take your Gabriel Jesus from an 80 rated up to an 83 rated, all of a sudden Hawks and Hunters fly through the roof. But they only fly through the roof for a few days, maybe sometimes even 24 hours or less. So again, buying consumables and players when they are worth nothing or worth the, you know, towards the floor of what you can even pay for them, it is always worth stacking up on them because their prices will go through the roof eventually and you will be able to capitalize massively. The last thing that I really love about the volatile market in the early stages is managers. They are so hard to pack because people are opening packs, but not too many. But also there's a lot of obscure nations for managers that are in silver packs and bronze packs. And nobody's opening silver packs and bronze packs in the early stages. So if an evolution or an SBC or an objective card comes out for, let's say, a Japanese player, Japanese managers fly up 5k extinct immediately. If a Swiss player, let's say Alicia Lehmann, gets a special promo card, Swiss managers will go extinct. Otherwise, there'd be like 200 coins. Nobody would care about them. So again, stacking up on managers could be very valuable. And as we know at the start here, based on this post by, well, I think quite a lot of people have posted it, but this one here is from Foot25 News. The World Tour is starting in England, which means English players are going to be kind of the more prominent players in the early stages. This Jesse Lingard, he plays in the Korean League. Marcus Rashford plays in the Spanish League. So guess what? English managers in the early stages are going to be really heightened in price. They'll be super volatile and will give you a great opportunity to make a lot of coins in those very early stages off of the market absolutely waving until everything finally kind of settles down into a bit of a more more kind of like predictable pattern. And so, yeah, one of the things to look out for, one of the tips that we can take from FC25 into FC26 is absolutely taking advantage of the volatility within the market, but also don't get caught out by it either. Don't sell your players on a low. Don't sell your consumables on a low. Don't sell your managers on a low. Hold on to them. Those 200 coins that you might get, those 400 coins that you might get in that moment won't be worth sacrificing potentially thousands of coins a little bit later on down the line. One of the most fun parts of every FIFA game when it brand new starts is completing the early SBCs and trying to get the most out of them. There has been some rumors that the Foundation SBCs / Advanced SBCs, because that's what these are now, are going to be going in FC26. I don't think that's necessarily been confirmed that they're going, but I think it maybe is a little bit of crosswires between something that EA said about changing them or reworking them, because these are supposed to be Foundation SBCs. They're supposed to be for people that haven't really played the game before, getting an introduction into how SBCs work. And it you know, inevitably just became a part where people were able to farm packs. So however they arrive again in FC26, however SBCs in general arrive again in FC26, one of the best things that you can do in the early stages is actually when the web app comes out. Because if these SBCs are here in any kind of formula, you know, I would expect potentially the hybrid leagues, nations, and league and nation hybrid to disappear because they are a little bit more challenging to complete. But the foundations are very, very easy to complete. Getting these done on the web app when it comes out, which is likely to be early next week or middle of next week, Tuesday or Wednesday next week before the game comes out. When these come out, getting them done on the web app can give you a massive, massive head start. I will make more content on that as more of a kind of definitive explanation of how to get the best out of the web app when the web app is here. But keep in mind that the web app in those early days can honestly set you apart from anybody else if you put in the time, the effort, and the kind of dedication of building your coin balance up, building your pack balance up, building your team up, getting hold of some of those early day managers, consumables, or players that might end up booming in price can be really, really handy. So Foundation SBCs and SBCs in general on the web app are going to be a great way to kind of propel your ultimate team journey even before the game is out. The fourth thing that you need to know about FC26, guys, is how important objective SBC and season pass players can be, especially for free-to-play players in those early stages of the game. There was quite a few objective players, quite a few of these squad foundation players last year that were absolutely banging in the early stages. There was that Watt card who had insane pace. Through the years, we've had a few like Liga NOS cards and Eredivisie cards that have been absolutely outrageous. Right here, we had the Squad Foundations Liga F setup, which had another player in the actual objectives. But this Francie was decent with good pace, good shooting, good dribbling, and good physical for an 84 rated card in the early stages. And we also had the World Tour Robert Sanchez. And I tell you what, although goalkeepers were a bit weird last year because you just needed specific kind of properties, whether it be height or eventually like the ability to save the low drivens and such with the footwork save animation thingy. This Robert Sanchez, for me, I played with him on my RTG so many times because he was decent for a low rated card that ended up helping me in kind of friendly objectives and friendly tournaments and friendly cups so many times. Because he was Prem and Spanish and low rated, he checked boxes constantly, and it allowed me to just really take advantage of him. And as far as goalkeepers go, he probably had 50 to 100 games for me throughout the course of the whole year, and it was free. He was free to pick up. And with the World Tour coming this time around for England, getting that Jesse Lingard, that Marcus Rashford, it's certainly going to be a way to, again, really help propel your team in the early stages. But the thing I think can't be understated, guys, is SP. Now, you can get SP from manager mode, from clubs, from career mode, and from Ultimate Team. I presume it'll be something similar next year as well. I was lazy last year, and I didn't do everything I could to get all of the SP that I could as quick as I could. And so as a result of that, I was finishing the season pass a week after people who grinded really hard were finishing the season pass. And in the early stages, again, when you get some really fun players at the top end of that season pass, maybe some evolutions, maybe some packs at the top end of that season pass, and some good players even throughout the season pass, it can't be understated how important it is to go in and get the SP everywhere you can, as often as you can, because it might be a small advantage, but it will be an advantage to get that SP, to complete that season pass, and to have players that other people haven't got earlier. And even then you might be able to evo them, but they might really be the difference between hitting a streak on what are they called? I can't remember what they're called now. On Rivals, it might be the difference between getting an extra player that improves your squads for the Gauntlet. If you guys remember now, the Gauntlet, the first one, will need 3 squads for the Gauntlet. You will only be able to use 1 squad once, and then you have to fully replace everybody from the starting 11 and the subs bench. So getting as many quality players as early as possible will be so valuable. So do not sleep on SP, Season Pass, nor the objective players, because they're going to be so valuable in the early stages. The next thing to talk about, guys, is that squad battles matter. In the first 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks of the game cycle, I can't explain how valuable it is to go through the monotony and the pain of playing squad battles. Not only can it help you complete objectives, which is what I think a lot of people will use it for, wrongfully in my opinion, you've got to kind of pair the two together. Not only will it help you complete some evolutions nice and easy playing against squad battles, not only can you even play with a friend to kind of like maybe take advantage of their team, take advantage of your team. Could be a good setup to kind of like enjoy some, let's say, co-op gaming, and again, maybe completing some objectives there. But more importantly, this was Elite 1 rewards that I got in week 1 on my RTG. Now, the game, early access for the game, comes out on Thursday night / Friday morning across the world. Squad Battles gives you your first reward set on Sunday morning, which gives you Friday and Saturday to get your Squad Battles game in to get those first rewards. Because if the rewards are anything like they were here, we've got an 85 plus rare gold player pack, which is big. A Team of the Week player pack, which could be potentially monumental. You know, if you get one of the discard cards straight away anyway, that's 10,000 coins. If you get one of the premium Team of the Weeks from the week, it could be hundreds of thousands of coins. You get 275 by 10s, a rare mega pack, and it can't be understated how valuable those are. But more importantly, in my opinion, you get 20,000 coins. I expect the rewards to be slightly different, to be altered in some way or another, but squad battles cannot be understated in those early stages. More importantly this year as well, which is something else we're going to talk about a bit today though, is just playing the game. Playing the game now because of tournaments, because of Gauntlet, because of the way that they have changed Rivals to the point where you get those rewards every sort of 3 or 4 games just for playing. Playing the game could finally feel valuable. But more importantly, getting yourself onto squad battles, doing the best you can, getting the best points tally you can and the best rewards you can will be a significant boost for the early weeks until the rewards end up like plateauing in terms of like true value. They go down as the game continues to progress, as Champs comes out and as Rivals rewards start getting divvied out as well. Then it becomes a little less valuable, but in those early stages, guys, go and get those squad battles rewards. So the 6th tip for you guys, and one of the most important things I think to talk about, is how to spend your FC points in FC 26. You're going to be getting 2,000. Of course, this is only applicable to people that got the early access. You're going to get 2,000 straight away, and then 2,000 a month later, and 2,000 a month later. If you didn't buy the early access, this doesn't apply to you. If you just buy FIFA points anyway, maybe this applies to you. Maybe you can take something out of this. But when you get that 2,000 FC points, you can bet for damn sure EA will have some packs in the promo section that will look fun for you to open. They won't be. They'll probably be untradeable. Even if they're tradable, they probably won't be worthwhile. They will absorb all of your FC points, and you'll be left after the fact going, damn, I wish I never did that. I've done it so many times myself. I've wasted coins and FC points so many times myself. And so I want to explain to you what the best options are for your FC points in general. And there's 3 things specifically. Yeah, 3 things specifically. The first one, maybe there's 4 things specifically actually. The first one is the draft. Especially if you fancy yourself as a bit of a player, the draft can be really good. If you can consistently get past the second round in draft, this could be a really fun way to spend your FC points, because you'll be able to get, 5 draft entries, 6 draft entries per month. Those draft entries, if you're able to get to the semi-final or final regularly, will give you really good rewards. And EA have spoken on the fact that they're going to be changing draft rewards for FC 26. So hopefully they'll be better than they are now, which should again add even more value to your points. You know, for 300 FC points, you can get 2 7.5k packs. If you can get to the semi-final this year right now, you'll get like a 25k pack and a 15k pack. That's 40,000 coins worth of tradable packs for 300 FC points. And if you can get to the final and win, you could get 100k packs, 35k packs, 50k packs, 25k packs, 15k packs. You can even get coins for winning the draft and losing in the final as well. You can get 20,000 coins also. And so if you're decent at the game and feel like you can constantly get to the semi-final or final, using your FC points on draft could be really, really handy. The second thing that I think is valuable to do with your coins, valuable to do with your FC points, is quite possibly evolutions, but not just like any old evolution. I wouldn't be spending, 100 FC points on those evolutions or 250 FC points on the evolutions. But when you get those Evos that come in, like the Team of the Year Evo or the Attacking Avalanche Evo last year, where it was like either 250,000 coins or 500,000 coins or 1,000 FC points or 1,500 FC points, that's where I'm spending my FC points. If it saves me having to spend hundreds of thousands of coins for these FC points that I got for the pre-order edition, I think it's a really good use for spending your FC points. Before we get to the fourth thing for spending FC points on, which I think is a bit more meticulous and requires a bit more effort in general, what I think is the best thing to spend your FC points on is the season pass. We will be getting premium season passes from day one in FC 26, where we didn't have that in FC 25, which is why I spent my FC points on evolutions. But if you've got the pre-order bonus, you get season 1 for free, right? It just comes with the pre-order for the Ultimate Edition. As you can see right now in FC 25, we're in season 10 pre-season. So you're going to get season 1 for free, and then you're going to have 6,000 FC points distributed to you over the next 2 months. I personally, on my RTG, will be saving all of those FC points for the premium season pass every single time it comes out, assuming that it maintains the same price range of 500,000 coins or 1,000 FC points. So those 3,000 FC points are equivalent then to 3 million coins in coin value. So you can, if you're good at trading, if you're confident that you're going to build your coin balance up, feel free to use coins. For me personally, I want to use my coins. I want to use them on Evos. I want to use them on like market players. I want to use them in draft. I will save my FC points for this. 7 seasons for free. The first season comes for free anyway. Then 6,000 FC points for 6 more seasons. That means by the time you've got to the end of season 7, you've only got 3 seasons left. There's only going to be a couple of months of the game left. At that point, coins are going to be so easy to come by that you won't care as much of having to get the 500,000 coins for the final few season passes. So EA are effectively giving you premium season pass for like 2/3, 3/4 of the game for absolutely nothing. That's what I would spend my FC points on. The last thing that you could potentially spend your FC points on, and it does depend on kits, stadiums, badges, managers, and silvers in general, but it's not a horrible idea to spend your FC points in the early stages on gold packs. I don't think it's a great idea, but it's not a horrible idea because some of the players and consumables and such that you can get can just have like really, really significant value. But in the early stages, for 75 FC points, you can get yourself one of these silver packs. Just the kits and badges alone are constantly 5,000, 10,000 coins. Certain players, especially if they become eligible for evolutions, will become thousands of coins. If you remember this year, we had the Libsud silvers were consistently thousands and thousands of coins. When the League SBC came, the Eredivisie silvers became hundreds, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 coins, maybe 500, 800 coins. There is so much value in silver packs that spending 75 points per pack is a really, really smart idea because you will end up generating a lot of coins from it. The reason why it's maybe not the most advisable thing is because it takes that understanding and market knowledge of what to sell, when to sell it, and how valuable it is. And people don't want to put that time into the game. That's absolutely fair enough. So yeah, this is kind of like if you live on the game, if you really want to maximize coins, of making coins rather than saving coins. You know, the season pass is more about saving coins. The draft method and the silver pack method is more about making coins. If you want to make coins rather than save coins, investing in silver packs could be very, very valuable. The seventh and final tip that I have, or final thing that I want to talk about today, guys, when it comes to FC26, is playing the game. It feels a weird thing to say, but people go out of their way to not play this game. They really do. And there has never been, or at least it feels like there will never be, a better time to actually play the game than FC26. Squad battles, gauntlet, draft, tournaments, friendlies, champs, those things are going to be really good. But the thing that I'm most excited about for FC26, and the thing that I think is going to change how people play this game, is division rivals, bounties, and duels. You will now, in spite of getting your points or not for the division that you're in, you will now have opportunities regularly to earn packs, SP, what else was there on there? I can't remember exactly what it was. It did give us a breakdown of what was available, but it's packs, coins, SP, and a few other things for just playing the game and completing these objectives. This one that we've seen on the screen here, score the first goal in your match, and you get like an extra rank point or whatever it is. It can't be understated, in my opinion, how valuable playing the game will be, because you'll just get an edge because you've got the experience. You might learn some overpowered mechanics. You'll be able to experiment with tactics. But more importantly, again, when it comes to the gauntlet, which EA show us a little bit further up here, as I spoke to you earlier about, the gauntlet, once you've used a team, you can't use that team again for the rest of that gauntlet tournament or gauntlet event. So the first one that we're going to get is going to require you to use 3 teams. So all of a sudden, playing the game to get accustomed to 3 different teams, potentially 3 different tactic sets, maybe even multiple play styles, it will give you an edge in the gauntlet. And because you can actually get rewarded now, it might not be humongous rewards, but it will be continuous, repeatable rewards for just playing rivals. Playing the game is going to be so, so valuable. Like I say, you will learn more and earn more than people who come in, play to the maximum number of points, try and throw 3 squads together for the gauntlet, do the best they can, throw whatever squad they've got in their team account together for the tournament. You will have an advantage over all of those. And this year, one thing that I hope EA kind of get right, this year, having a stacked account is actually going to be valuable. Instead of just kind of having one team and then maybe you've got like an Evo team that you do on the side, having multiple teams thanks to the gauntlet will be valuable, because eventually the gauntlet will go up to 5 rounds, which means you will need 5 teams. Having multiple nations, leagues, ratings of quality players will be important because of tournaments. Having like a best team will be important thanks to champs. Actually playing the game might be a huge part of playing the game this year, which will be the first time in a long time that that's been relevant. And so my top tip to people would be, just play the game. Don't be scared to lose. Don't be scared to get demoted. Don't be scared to have a bad time in champs and only get 3 wins or 5 wins or 7 wins. Play the game. Learn from your mistakes. Learn how to best play the game. Maximize your capabilities with your teams, and through it, build your ultimate team up and actually build the best ultimate team. And so that today, guys, was just 7 kind of tips or things that I wanted to talk about today coming into FC26. I will probably expand a lot more on some of these individual points. When the web app comes out, I'll do a web app dedicated video. When the game comes out, I'll do a specific how to start, and when Evos come out eventually, a best way to maximize your kind of like time within the Evo part of the game. We will have much more content specifically about these points as they come out. But for today, that is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.